All right, so we're going to get ourselves today into frog pose. If you're not familiar with frog pose is goddess pose on your belly. Can be super challenging. It's a big time hip opener. But we're not going to like flow in and out of it. We're going to like find it and hang out for a little bit. So it's quite the hip opener. So what you might need is an additional blanket today. You can also fold your yoga mat in half. Sometimes getting into frog pose can be tender on our knees. So I'm offering an option to add a little extra padding under those knees if you want to get a blanket. Or you can just set yourself up with folding your mat in half. Totally fine too. That's what we would do in the studio. Frog pose. Claire's here, fabulous. Anna's here, all the schoonovers, wonderful. Okay, so it looks like everybody is muted. You can put on some music. Grab any additional fun props you want. If you want a block or a strap, you can grab that kind of stuff. You might want a blanket today because we're going to do frog. Folding up your yoga mat is also a great option. Oh, Rita bought yoga blocks. Nice job. Yes. Good choices. No more rolls of toilet paper for you. You can use yoga blocks. Fantastic. Oh, Cindy and Franny are here. We can start. Look at that. Fabulous. You guys are going to want to grab a blanket because we're going to do frog pose today. So now that everybody's up to date, grab a blanket. Thumbs up. Fabulous. Wonderful. All right. We're going to get started in a seat, everybody. So you can sit on your butt, loosely cross your legs. You can sit on a block if you want to. If you have yoga blocks and you are not familiar with sitting on a yoga block, put those sit bones on that yoga block, see how that feels. You can also sit on your shins if you want to. That's how I'm going to get myself set up here in a second. And then once we make our way to our seat, of course, do any of those wiggly moves you need to do to get settled. So you can rock your head side to side, you can roll your shoulders, you can do a little seated cat-cow. Any of those options are great. Just allowing yourself to settle in here. And of course, we always talk about sit bones making contact with whatever we're sitting on. And once your body comes into stillness, think about that nice, tall, dignified spine as we always get ourselves set up here. As we root our sit bones, tall, neutral spine from the root all the way through the crown of the head. Allow your shoulder blades to relax down onto your back. And again, if there's a few more breaths of movement you want to make here, you can wiggle into this pose. Otherwise, we can come into stillness when you're ready. You can gently blink your eyes closed when you are ready. I'll make my way to my mat here. And take your time getting there. We'll shift our focus over to our breath whenever you are ready. As you begin to deepen your inhales, we think about expanding through the front, the back, and the sides of the rib cage. So get nice and buoyant through that rib cage. As you exhale, those shoulder blades melt down even more. Relax and let it go. We'll take 5 more big, full rounds of breath together here. Two more full breaths. And one more. Big inhale here. Full exhale. And you can keep those eyes closed if you want to, or gently blink them open. We'll inhale those arms up and overhead. Press those palms together here. As we exhale, thumbs draw to heart center. Twice more as we always do. Inhale, arms up, press palms. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. One more time, everybody. Inhale, arms up and overhead. And exhale, thumbs to heart center. Beautiful. This time as we reach those arms up, we're going to wrap right fingers around the left wrist. Get super tall. Nice dignified spine. Then we find full inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. So that right hand is drawing that left arm across here. Keep your chest open. Keep your sit bones rooted. One more breath here. Then we'll inhale back to center, switching the grip. So those left fingers around the right wrist. Draw those arms up, so get super tall from your sit bones to your fingertips. Find an inhale. And then we exhale, side bend to the left. So that left hand now is drawing that right arm across. Chest stays open again here, my friends. One more full round of breath. And then let's draw ourselves back to center. Release the grip, press palms together. Here's our inhale. Our exhale draws thumbs to heart center. Beautiful. We'll make our way over to our tabletop position here, getting ourselves set up for some cat-cow. Spread those fingers wide. Stack the shoulder right on top of the wrist here. Knees are about hip distance apart, and then you can tuck your toes or untuck them, whichever one feels better. We'll drop the belly on an inhale. Lift up the gaze, lift the tailbone. Here's our cow pose. We'll exhale to push the mat away, tuck in the belly. Inhale, drop the belly down, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. And exhale, pushing the mat away. One more time, inhale, let the belly drop, the gaze will lift. And exhale as we push the mat away here. Come on back to our neutral tabletop. On your next inhale, extend your right leg straight behind you. And then we're gonna bend that right knee and make some big hip circles on the right side. Warming up this hip joint. Trying to keep the shoulders stacked over the wrists here. And let's take those circles the opposite direction. Last one here. And then find an inhale to extend that right leg straight behind you. Try to square off your hips. As you exhale, set your right foot to the outside of your left. It can come off the mat here. Shoulders are still over those wrists. It's a nice lateral side hip opener here. Full breath in. And a breath out. Then we'll inhale, reach that right leg straight behind. Try to square off those hips again. And exhale back to tabletop. We'll switch sides here. Inhale, left leg straight behind you. Bend that left knee and make those big hip circles on the left side. Trying to keep shoulders over the wrists. And then we'll take those circles the opposite direction here. And then on your next inhale, extend that left leg straight behind you. Try to level off those hips here. As you exhale, we'll step the left foot to the outside of the right foot here, coming into an IT band stretch on this side. Again, shoulders are over those wrists. Find a big inhale. Full exhale. And we'll inhale to come back to center. That left leg reaches behind. And exhale ourselves back down to tabletop here. One more cat-cow we'll work through together. Inhale to drop the belly, the gaze lifts. We're preparing the spine. And exhale, pushing the mat away. Come on back to our neutral tabletop here. We'll set our knees about 5 inches behind those hips here. Tuck your toes under, make sure your shoulders are stacked over your wrists. Find a full breath all the way in. And then as we exhale, send your hips to the sky, finding our first downward facing dog. So we'll take 3 breaths here, everybody. You can move around as much as you want to for this first one. One more full inhale here. And a big exhale. And then we'll send those hips up a little bit higher when you're ready. Take our baby steps to the top of the mat, finding our forward fold here once you arrive. If you want to use your blocks, you are welcome to use them here. Hands to shins or blocks, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold down twice more like that. Hands to shins or blocks, flat back, inhale. Exhale, fold down. One more time, halfway lift, inhale. And exhale, fold all the way down. Root down through those feet to come all the way up to standing. Draw those arms up and overhead, press palms together, inhale. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Beautiful. We'll take our side bend series again here. I just want to face you for this one. Feet are hip distance apart. We'll inhale those arms up, right fingers around left wrist. Exhale, side bend to the right. So that right hand is drawing that left arm over here. Root down through both feet, even if you're sending that left hip away here. One more breath. Inhale draws us back to center. Switch the grip, left fingers, right wrist. And exhale, side bend to the left. Good, so root down through both of those feet. Fingers around that right wrist. Push your right hip away. One more breath. And then inhale, press your palms together. You can gaze up here. As we exhale, we find a stabilizing squat. So send your hips back. You have a little bend in your knees here. From your tailbone to the crown of your head, even your fingertips parallel to the floor. Full breath in. Big breath out. And then we'll stand up on our inhale, straight arms, straight legs. You can gaze up. Exhale to fold forward and all the way down. Bringing hands to shins or blocks, halfway lift, inhale. And then as we exhale, root those hands firmly. Let's take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Finding a full breath in here. And a big breath out. Let's bring ourselves forward to a high plank and pause here for alignment. Shoulders are over wrists. First fingers should be parallel to each other. Zip up your belly, press through the balls of your feet. On our inhale, we're going to drop the knees down to a hover. And on our exhale, back to a high plank. Twice more. Inhale, knees to a hover. Exhale, high plank. Fire up your belly. Last time, inhale, knees to a hover. This time as we exhale, send those hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Full breath in. And a breath out. When you're ready, we'll inhale that right leg towards the ceiling. We've got nice square hips here. Exhale to step that right foot all the way forward. Drop that back knee down. Nice low leg lunge on the right side. Let's get ourselves set up here. Right knee's on top of that right ankle here. Those right toes point forward. Think about those hips. You can use your hands to level off those hips. I like to keep my back toes tucked under in a low lunge. Shoulder blades melt down. Fingertips are up. Let's find our 3 breaths. One more. Let's inhale. As we exhale, frame that front foot, send those hips back here, straightening that right knee, coming into our hamstring opener on the right side. Try to square those hips off if we can here. You're welcome to keep this front foot flat or draw that foot all the way up if that feels better. 3 breaths, here we are. Let's take one more inhale. And as we exhale, we'll make our way forward, plant those hands firmly, back knee will lift, and then we step back for downward facing dog. Full breath all the way in, and a big breath all the way out. When you're ready, inhale that left leg towards the ceiling, nice square hips here. As we exhale, step it forward, drop that back knee down, coming into our low leg lunge on the left side. So that left knee's on top of that left ankle. Check out your hips, where are they going here? Again, back toes tucked under if you can. Fingertips up, 3 breaths. One more breath, let's inhale. As we exhale, we frame that front foot, send those hips back to straighten that left knee. Hamstring opener on the left side. Square hips if we can. Breath into this left hamstring, and this left foot can stay flat or you can draw those toes up. Let's find that breath again. One more inhale. As we exhale, gently make our way forward, plant those hands firmly, back knee will lift, and then we step back for downward facing dog. Finding that big inhale. Full exhale. We'll send those hips a little higher. You can walk or step to the top of the mat. Coming into your forward fold here once you arrive. Hands to shins or blocks. Inhale to a halfway lift. Exhaling to fold down. Let's come all the way up to standing when you're ready. Draw those arms up and overhead. Press palms together. Big breath in. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Good, keep your feet hip distance apart, hands on hips. Chair pose with feet apart here. So there's a distance between the feet and the knees here. So we have nice alignment. Hips are back and square. Spine is neutral. Hands can stay on hips. You can draw thumbs to heart center or sweep those arms all the way up. Let's find those 3 breaths. One more breath. Inhale. Stay here for your exhale. Reach down through those feet to stand all the way up. Press palms together. You can gaze up. Inhale. Exhale to fold forward and all the way down. Hands come to shins when you are ready. Inhale. And then we'll exhale to plant those hands firmly. Let's take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Full exhale. We'll inhale ourselves forward to a high plank here, everybody. Here we are. Fingers are spread wide. Zip up your belly. We're going to do those knee hovers one more time here. So inhale to hover those knees above the ground. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, knee hover. Exhale, high plank. One more time. Inhale, knee hover. And then this time as you exhale, send your hips to the sky for downward facing dog. Fired up belly, my friends. Full breath in. Big breath out. We'll inhale that right leg towards the ceiling when you're ready here. Exhale to step it forward. Root down through both feet. Keep this back knee lifted. We'll come up into our first full-size crescent lunge on the right side. So that right knee's on top of that right ankle. Press firmly through the ball of the back foot. Check out those hips. Where are they going? Try to square them off here. Shoulder blades are down. Fingertips are up. 3 breaths. One more breath here. And then those right fingers wrap around that left wrist. We're going to take our side bend again. So get tall through that torso. Inhale. Exhale, take our side bend over to the right. This is a big hip opener for that back hip flexor here. Testing that balance. One more breath here. And then inhale comes to center, release the wrist. Exhale to frame that front foot and we'll step it back. Finding downward facing dog. Full breath in. Big breath out. And then when you're ready, we'll inhale our left leg towards the ceiling here, square hips. Exhale to step it forward. Reach down through those feet, back knee stays lifted. Torso comes all the way up. Crescent lunge on the left side. Left knee stacks here. Check out those hips. Shoulder blades are down. Fingertips up, 3 breaths. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale. And then left fingers around that right wrist. We're going to get really tall here. Inhale. Exhale, side bend to the left. Keep those legs super strong. Chest stays open. Press through those feet. One more breath. Inhale brings us back to center. Press those palms together. Exhale to frame that front foot. We'll make our way back to downward facing dog. Find a big inhale and a full exhale. Then we'll send those hips a little higher. Walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Coming into our forward fold. Once you get here, hands come to shins. Inhaling ourselves to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold down. Come all the way up to standing, my friends. Draw those arms up and overhead. Press your palms together. Here's our inhale. And exhale, thumbs to heart center. Mountain pose, Tadasana. Good, your choice here. You can keep your feet hip distance apart or draw those feet all the way together for our chair pose. So if your feet are together, draw those ankles together, draw those knees together, inner thighs are engaged. Regardless of whether your feet are apart or together, hips are square, neutral spine. Hands can stay on hips, thumbs can draw to heart center. You can sweep arms up. 3 breaths. One more breath. Press through those feet. We're going to stand all the way up. Press palms together. Inhale, you can gaze up. Exhale to fold forward and all the way down. Draw hands to shins. Inhale to a flat back, halfway lift. And exhale to plant those hands. Let's take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Big inhale here. Full exhale. Let's inhale ourselves forward to a high plank. Shoulders over those wrists. As we exhale, we're going to make our way all the way down to our bellies. Untuck your toes, roll your shoulders onto the back, come into a baby cobra. So we keep a bend in the elbows here. Root through both hands. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower down. Tuck those toes under. You can go to high plank from here or tabletop. And then you exhale, hips to sky, downward facing dog. Take a big inhale. Full exhale. Inhaling that right leg towards the ceiling when you're ready. Exhale to step it all the way forward. Back knee stays lifted. Finding crescent lunge on the right side, round 2. So set it up, take your time, find your alignment, find your stability here. Root through both feet. Let's find that breath. Here we are. Inhales. And exhales. And then we'll inhale, thumbs to heart center, tall torso. Exhale, taking our twist over to the right. So that left tricep hooks on that right thigh. You're welcome to continue looking down at those right toes, or you can look over to the right. That's up to you. Test that balance if you want to. Take an inhale. And an exhale. One more big breath in, my friends. As we exhale, gaze down at those right toes, both hands to the inside of that right foot. Walk your right foot out to the width of the mat here. Let's find an early lizard. So that right foot is flat. Right knee's on top of that right ankle. We're going to stay on those hands here, everybody. You're welcome, of course, to drop back knee down if you'd like to. 2 more big breaths. And then we're going to heel toe that feet in a little bit, that right foot in a little bit, excuse me. Frame that right foot so we're back into our lunge position, and then we step it back for downward facing dog. Find a big inhale. Full exhale. Inhaling that right leg towards the ceiling here, square hips. Exhale to step it forward. That back knee stays lifted. Crescent lunge, left side. Check it out, see how it feels. Find that breath again. Find that alignment again. And then here we are, we're going to inhale, thumbs to heart center, press those palms together, stay strong in those legs. Exhaling our twist over to the left, right tricep hooks on that left thigh. You're welcome to look down at those left toes or gaze over to the left. Press through both feet here, 2 more big breaths. Strong lower body, everybody, 1 more breath. Let's gaze down at those left toes. Plant those hands to the inside of that left foot. Walk that left foot out to the width of the mat here. Lizard lunge left side. So again, we're going to stay on those hands here. That left foot should be nice and flat. You're welcome to keep your back knee up or drop your back knee down. Totally up to you. 3 breaths. One more. We're going to carefully heel toe that left foot in a little bit here so we can frame that left foot. So we're back into our lunge on the left side. Inhale. Exhale to make our way back to find downward facing dog. We have 3 breaths here, everybody. So if you would like a child's pose, feel free to take a child's pose here for 3. you're in child's pose, come on back up to downward facing dog. We'll all send our hips a little higher, walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Coming into our forward fold here once you get up here. Hands to shins when you're ready. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale to fold down. Come on all the way up to standing when you're ready. Draw those arms up and overhead. You can gaze up, you can back bend a little. Exhale to draw thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Good. So we'll do one more chair pose here, everybody. You can keep your feet hip distance apart or draw your feet together. Drop hips back and down. Hands can stay on hips to heart center or reach up and overhead. 3 breaths. One more breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. Now we'll inhale to stand all the way up. Press those palms together. Exhale to fold forward and all the way down. If those feet are all the way together, separate them to hip distance apart. So we're all 2 fist widths apart here. So this forward fold, you can grab opposite elbows if you want to, or grab big toes. We're going to take this into a twist here in just a moment. Finding 2 more breaths. One more breath. And then we're going to place as much of a bend in your knees as you need to get your hands on the ground. Once your hands are on the ground, you're going to shift your left hand to be right in the middle of those feet, just in front of those toes though. Draw your right hand to your right hip. Left hand is on the ground, right hand is on your right hip. We're going to rotate the torso open to the right, putting a deeper bend in that left knee, straightening that right knee. If you have access to a block and you want to use it, great place for it. Torso rotates open to the right. You can keep your right hand on your hip or draw your right arm up. 3 breaths. And then we're going to unwind ourselves back to center. So draw a big bend in both knees and then switch hands. So your right hand is down, left hand to left hip. You can have your hand on the floor or a block, that's up to you. Then we rotate open to the left, placing a deeper bend into that right knee, straightening that left leg. And then left hand can stay on left hip. You can draw left arm up and over. Find that breath again. One more breath. Left hand comes back to left hip. Come on back to center, deep bend in both knees, my friends. And then we're going to heel toe those feet out to the width of the mat here. Toes point forward. We're going to take that twist series again. So root down through both feet. Options this time. Left hand is down in the middle of your mat here. Right hand to right hip. You can bend your knees. As we start to rotate ourselves open this time to the right, you can keep your left hand on the ground or start to walk your left hand over to your right ankle, right? Lots of options there for this rotation. And then that right arm can come up. Come on back to center, my friends. You can put a bend in those knees. That right hand plants down on the floor of the block, left hand to left hip. And then you can start to rotate open here or walk that right hand over to that left ankle. Options galore. Left arm can come up. One more, inhale. Exhale. Come on back to center here, everybody. Drop those hands down, bend your knees as much as you need to get your hands on the ground. And then we're gonna point those toes out, heels in, hips come down, yogi squat, look at that. So you are welcome to sit on a block here if you would like to get yourself set up. Whatever direction those toes point, those knees have to go the same way. You wanna use the strength of your glutes to keep those knees wide. So we don't wanna rely on our elbows to push our knees out, right? So as we set ourselves up here, make sure those feet are flat. You don't want your heels up. Drop those heels down. Try to get a straight, tall, dignified spine, right? It's challenging in this pose. But from your root all the way up through the crown of your head, you should be nice and tall. Settle in. Options for yogi squat today. You can stay on that block if you're on it. You can come here with thumbs at heart center. You can draw your elbows to your knees if you would like to, or if you want a super challenge, arms up and overhead. Lots of options here. Find that breath, 5 breaths. One more breath, everybody. Let's inhale. Exhale. Let's draw those hands in and down onto the ground. Send your hips up to the sky. You can wiggle it back and forth if you'd like to here. I'm going to make my way back to the top of my mat here. And then we're all going to heel toe our feet into hip distance apart. Point those toes forward here, my friends. When you're ready, hands come to shins, inhaling ourselves to a halfway lift, flat back. And then as we exhale, plant those hands firmly. Let's take it all the way back to downward facing dog. Full inhale. Big exhale. Our inhale takes us forward to a high plank here. Zip up your belly. Exhale all the way down onto the mat. Roll the shoulders onto the back, baby cobra, or full cobra is a great option here, everybody. Inhale. As you exhale, tuck your toes under, send your hips to the sky for a downward facing dog. Full breath in and a breath out. When you're ready, we'll inhale that right leg towards the ceiling here, square hips. Exhale to step it forward, pop up onto those fingertips for a little bit of balance. We're gonna pivot that left foot down, warrior 2 in the lower body. Root through those feet, everybody, and then that torso will come all the way up. Full size warrior 2 on the right side. So the shoulders over those hips. My left hip is up a little bit, so I got to root down a little bit more here to level off. Press into that right thigh. Arms are straight and strong. Find your alignment, find your breath. One more full inhale here. Full exhale. Then we'll inhale, straight arms, straight legs, reach those arms up overhead. You can gaze up. Exhale back into warrior 2. Breath and movement. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, warrior 2. Last time, inhale, reach up, gaze up. And exhale into warrior 2. And then this time, right forearm to right thigh, left fingers to the sky. Finding side angle pose. Left arm can stay up. Hovering left arm above your ear is great, or you can tuck your left arm behind your back. Let's find that breath. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. Reach those left fingers up if you've moved them. Inhale here. And then we'll exhale. Turning that torso to frame the floor, frame that front foot here, and step it back to find downward facing dog. Pedal it out as much as you'd like to. Find your breath again. And then when you're ready, left leg up on an inhale. And exhale, steps it all the way forward. Come on up to those fingertips here. Pivot that right foot down, so we've got warrior 2 in that lower body. Reach down through those feet to bring that torso all the way up here. Warrior 2, left side. Left knee's on top of that left ankle here. Check out your hips. Press through both feet. 3 breaths. Here we are. One more breath. Breath and movement. Here we go. Straight arm, straight leg. Reach up, gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, warrior 2. One more time. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhaling, warrior 2. And then left forearm to left thigh, right fingers to the sky. Side angle pose, left side. Those right fingers can stay up if you'd like. You can hover a right arm above your ear or tuck that right arm behind your lower back here. 3 breaths, here we are. One more breath. Reach those right fingers up if they're not there yet. Inhale. And as we exhale, we're going to turn that torso square to the mat. Frame that left foot, square up those hips. Exhale, step it back. Downward facing dog. Let's take 3 breaths here again, everybody. If you would like a child's pose, you can take it. If you're in child's pose, come on back up to downward facing dog. And then from down dog, we'll send those hips a little higher, walk, step, or hop to the top of the mat. Finding our forward fold here once you arrive. Hands to shins. Inhaling to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold all the way down. Inhale to come all the way up to standing. Draw those palms up overhead. You can gaze up. Exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. We're going to get into pyramid pose from the top of the mat here. Inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Right foot stays where it is. Left foot steps halfway back. Pyramid pose. Right toes continue to point forward. Point your left toes out a little bit. Fingertips, flat palms, or blocks here. Your left hip is going to want to pop up. Let's square it off here. 3 breaths. One more breath. We're going to shift our body weight into that right foot. Plant those hands about 5 inches in front of that right foot. Send your left leg to the sky for a standing split. So try to square off those hips. You don't want to be open here. That's not the pose we're going for. Square hips here. Root down through that right foot. Take 1 more full breath. Inhale. As we exhale, left foot meets the right. We're back to our forward fold at the top of the mat. Look at that. Hands come to shins on an inhale, flat back. As we root down here, right foot steps about halfway back. Pyramid pose on the left side. Our left toes continue to point forward here. Right toes are out slightly. That right hip is going to want to pop up. Try to square off if you can. In this pose, we want to try to keep equal pressure through both feet. So check out your feet. Breath into that left hamstring. Fingertips, flat palms, or blocks, whatever you have. One more breath, everybody. And then we'll transfer that weight into that left foot. Set those hands about 5 inches in front of that left foot here. Right leg to the sky. Standing split on this side. Root down firmly through that left leg. Flex that right foot here. We don't want to be open, so try to square off. 2 more breaths. One more, inhale. As we exhale, that right foot meets that left. We've got our forward fold at the top of the mat again. Hands to shins, halfway lift. Inhale. Exhale, fold down. Let's come all the way up to standing, everybody. Here we go. Press through those feet, draw arms up and overhead. You can gaze up, inhale. And exhale, thumbs through, heart center, mountain pose, Tadasana. Good, we're gonna take goddess pose right from here. So I'm just gonna open up towards you. You can go whichever way you want. So as we open up, big stance, heels in, toes out. And then we're gonna drop into goddess. Whatever direction those toes point, those knees are gonna point to. Settle in from your sacrum, from your root, all the way up through the crown of the head. We're super tall, so engage your belly here. And as I said, we're gonna finish out today in frog pose, which is this goddess pose on your belly, right? Yes, big hip opener to finish out today. So hands can stay on thighs. You can come to your knees. You can come to full goddess. also draw thumbs to heart center if that feels good for you. 5 breaths in this one, my friends. Two more big breaths. Belly stays tight. One more breath. Inhale, straight arms, straight legs, 5-pointed star. Reach, 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 breath in. And as we exhale, we'll make our way back to the top of our mat here. So push off that back leg. We come back to the top of the mat. Beautiful. Good. Inhale, arms up, palms pressed together. You can gaze up. Exhaling to fold forward and all the way down. Hands come to shins. Inhaling to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to plant those hands. Let's take it all the way back to find downward facing dog. Big breath in. Full breath out. Let's inhale forward to a high plank here. As you exhale, take it to the belly or chaturanga dandasana. Chest comes through, shoulders, cobra or upward facing. Inhale. And then exhale, send your hips to the sky, finding downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, my friends. Full breath out. And then we'll inhale those knees to the mat. You can sit on those shins or swing your legs around, loosely crossing your legs. We have a little bit of instructional setup here, so get comfortable for a few moments. I'm just gonna take another mat here. So you'll probably need folded up towel or a blanket. I'm gonna adjust the camera too because I'm gonna be off the camera a little bit. There we go. All right. So as we get ourselves into frog pose, look at that, we can see so much of my floor, that's great. As we get ourselves into frog pose, I'm gonna come up here. I'm gonna be at a funny angle. So what you're gonna wanna do is shift yourself, if you look at my dark mat, so that you are sideways on the long side of your mat, right? So you're facing the long side of your mat. And as we get ourselves set up, our knees are gonna go wider. That's where you're gonna want your blanket to go. I'm just gonna show you this way so that you have a better angle for everything. So as we get ourselves set up here, we're gonna start to shift ourselves forward into a tabletop position, right? We have been here before. If you wanna go with me right away, you can, or you can wait until I'm deeper into the pose, that's up to you. So then from tabletop position with toes tucked under, you're gonna start to walk your knees out. Take it as far as is comfortable. Take your feet with you. You can walk your knees out more. Great. If none of this is attainable for you today, you can take a butterfly pose. And then once you have yourself in a little deeper position with those knees, you can start to come down to forearms. I'll show you from a few different angles. So as you come down to forearms, you can drop your feet down so that now your feet are flexed. So you have 90 degrees from your ankle, your knees, and then you don't want your hips to be forward of your knees. You want to try to be in line, right? So that might draw your butt up, that's okay. For anybody that's super bendy tonight, if you can make your way to your belly, go for it. Most of us are not going to do that. If this hurts your knees, fold up your blanket or your mat more, and then draw down. So this is a pose we're going to stay in for a little bit. I'm going to show you from different angles here to get yourself set up. So I'll show you from the side. Flex those feet, draw those knees out, come onto your forearms. If you have a block and you want to rest your block under your chest, you can do that too. Hips are in line with the knees, not forward. Settle in. I'll show you from the front too. Look at that. All angles on the frog pose today. Flex your feet. Hips in line with knees. Forearms or belly. This is way more intense than hanging out in pigeon, my friends. So if it's too much, you can come out of it, find a child's pose. If you want to work it deeper, try to work your belly towards the ground. We need deep, big belly breaths in this posture, my friends. And we have 5 more breaths. Here we are. 2 more big breaths, everybody, 2 more. One more. From forearms, come up to those hands. You can draw your feet together if you want to. Start to shift back into something like a child's pose if you want to, or draw your knees in together to then find child's pose. So from child's pose, everybody, we're going to take 5 breaths. Take your knees as wide as you want to in child, so you can draw your thighs all the way together if you want to. And when you're ready, we're going to carefully draw that torso up here. And then we're going to swing those legs around, coming into a butterfly pose. So let me shift forward a little bit here for you. Check out your hips. See how those hips feel. See if butterfly feels any different today than it normally does. You're welcome to draw heels in towards your pelvis if you want to, or draw those feet away. Completely up to you. We'll take 3 breaths right here. One more full breath. And then we'll keep that right leg where it is. Extend your left leg out in front of you. We'll draw that right knee up here. So plant your right foot. Right hand comes just behind that right hip. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale to hug onto that right knee. Or you can take a full twist all the way around. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Gentle counter twist over to the left, big inhale. Exhale to come back to center, butterfly pose. 1 full breath, inhale. And exhale. And then keep your left leg where it is, right leg extends long. Draw that left knee up here, so plant your left foot firmly. And then that left hand comes just behind that left hip. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale to hug onto that knee or take the full rotation, completely up to you. 3 breaths here. One more breath. Inhaling through center, gentle counter twist over to the right. And exhale back to butterfly, bottoms of the feet together. 1 more full breath, inhale. And exhale. Then we'll gently close those knees like a book. Wrap your forearms around your shins. Big breath in. Exhale to make it all the way down onto your back. We have arrived. Just move that for us here. So you can make those circles with those knees if you want to. Come on back to center here. Plant those feet firmly. Arms can take up as much space as you'd like. Find a big full belly breath in. Exhale, let those knees fall over to the right. Gentle twist to the right side. If you want to take a different shape, you can certainly do that. 3 breaths here. Let's inhale ourselves back to center when you're ready. And then exhale those knees over to the left. Again, if you'd like to take a different shape with those legs, you certainly can. Shoulder blades stay melted down. Head is on the mat here. 3 breaths. Then we'll inhale our way back to center. Draw your knees in towards your chest, reach in between those thighs to grab toes, arches, or ankles. For happy baby, I find doing happy baby after frog pose is like a whole different happy baby experience. You can rock side to side. Let's find 2 more big breaths here. One more breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. And then when you come back to center, draw those knees in together. Extend your legs up towards the sky. Draw your toes towards your face. You are welcome, as always, to stay here for a few breaths if you'd like. You can make your way over to the wall and take legs up the wall if you'd like to. Or any other postures you would like to take tonight. We have a few moments of yogi playtime, so find those poses that you need. Adjust myself here. Let's remember to find that breath. If you've taken a pose over to one side, let's make sure we take that pose going the other way. Of course, if there's a transitional posture you'd like, legs up the wall or bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the side, you're welcome to take any of that. And then certainly when you feel ready to make your way towards full Shavasana, legs will extend long. Arms can take up as much space as you'd like to. Allow your head, shoulders, and hips to be heavy on the ground. And then take a big breath all the way in. As you exhale, simply melt into the support of the earth beneath you and enjoy. Let's take a big breath all the way in. full breath all the way out. Gently beginning to wiggle those fingers and wiggle those toes. Rolling the wrists and the ankles and rocking your head side to side. When you feel ready, extend those arms all the way overhead, getting as long as you can from your fingertips to your toes. Take a big sweet breath all the way in. As you exhale, gently draw your knees in towards your chest, wrap your forearms around your shins, give yourself a big hug here. When you feel ready, make your way over to your favorite side in a fetal position. We'll take a moment in this posture, as we always do, allowing ourselves to call to mind who in our lives we are grateful for. With a heart full of gratitude, use both hands to bring you up to a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like and feels like for you. Palms pressing together at heart center in Anjali Mudra once you arrive. Eyes open or closed, your choice here. We'll take one more full round of breath. Let's inhale. And exhale. The light inside of me loves and honors the light inside each of you. Namaste. Namaste and kittens, everyone. Thank you. I hope you liked frog pose today.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thanks, everybody.
Namaste and kittens.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yes, kitten.
Thank you, Courtney.